In the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, when no plant of the field was yet on the earth, and no herbs of the field had yet sprung up, for the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was no one to till the ground, but the stream will rise from the earth and water the whole face of the ground. Then the Lord God formed man from the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living soul. And the Lord God planted a garden in Eden, in the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. Out of the ground the Lord God made to grow every tree that pleasant to the sight, and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. A river flowed out of the garden to water the garden, and from there it divided and become 4 branches. The Lord God took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to till it and keep it. And the Lord commanded the man, "You are free to eat from every tree of the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the good knowledge of the good and evil, for when you eat from it you shall surely die." Then the Lord God said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper suitable for him." So out of the ground the Lord God formed every animal of the field, and every bird of the air, and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called each living creature, that was his name. The man gave name to all cattle, all the birds of the air, and to every animal of the field. But for Adam no suitable helper was found. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and he slept. Then he took one of his ribs and closed up the place with flesh. And the rib that the Lord God had taken from the man, he made into a woman, and brought her to the man. Then the man said, "This at last is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for out of a man she was taken." Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother, and cling to his wife, and they become one flesh. And the man and his wife were both naked, and they were not ashamed. Now the serpent was more crafty than any other wild animal that the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, "Did God say you should not eat from the tree in the garden?" The woman said to the serpent, "We may eat fruit from the tree in the garden, but God said you must not eat from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, nor shall you touch it, or you shall die." But the serpent said to the woman, "You will not die, for God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasing to the eye, and that the tree desired to make one wise, she took one of the fruit and ate, and she also gave some to her husband, who was with her, and he ate. Then the eyes of both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made aprons for themselves. They heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And the man and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. But the Lord God called to the man, "Adam, where are you?" He said, "I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself." He said, "Who told you that you are naked? Have you eaten from the tree which I commanded you not to eat?" The man said, "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit, and I ate." Then the Lord God said to the woman, "What is this that you have done?" The woman said, "The serpent tricked me, and I ate." The Lord God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, cursed are you among every beast of the field. You will crawl on your belly, and you will eat dust all the days of your life. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He will strike your head, and you will strike his heel." To the woman he said, "I will greatly increase your pain in childbearing. In pain you shall bring forth children, and your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you." And to the man he said, "Because you have listened to the voice of your wife, and have eaten from the tree about which I commanded you, you shall not eat of. Cursed is the ground because of you. In toil you shall eat all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you, and you shall eat the plant of the field." By the sweat of your face you shall eat bread, until you return to the ground. For out of it you were taken, and for dust you are, and to dust you shall return. The man named his wife Eve, because she was the mother of all living. And the Lord made garments of skin for the man and his wife, and clothed them. Then the Lord God said, See, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. And now he might reach out his hand, and take also from the tree of life, and eat and live forever. Therefore the Lord God sent him forth from the garden of Eden, to till the ground from which he has taken. He drove out the man, and at the east of the garden of Eden he placed a cherubim, and a flaming sword, which turned every way to guide the way to the tree of life. Now Adam knew his wife, Eve, and she conceived and bore Cain, saying, With the help of the Lord I have brought forth a man. Next she bore his brother Abel. Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, and Cain a tiller of ground. In the course of time, Cain brought to the Lord an offering of the fruit of the ground, and Abel also brought of the firstling of his flock, and their fat portion. And the Lord God had regard for Abel and his offering, but for Cain and his offering he had no regard. So Cain was very angry, and his face downcast. The Lord said to Cain, Why are you angry, and why is your face downcast? If you have done what is right, will it not be accepted? And if you refuse to do what is right, sin is crunching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it. Cain said to his brother Abel, Let us go out to the field. And when they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother Abel and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, Where is your brother Abel? He said, I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? And the Lord said, What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood is crying out to me from the ground. And now you are cursed from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it will no longer yet its crowd for you. You will be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth. Cain said to the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Today you are driving me away from the land, and I shall be hidden from your presence. I shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth, and anyone who found me may kill me. Then the Lord said to him, Not so. Whoever killed Cain will suffer a sevenfold vengeance. And the Lord put a mark on Cain, so that no one who found him will kill him. Then Cain went away from the presence of the Lord, and settled in the land of Nod, east of the garden.